Hi, I want to show you Subdivide. It's a React component I've been working on. It uses Redux behind the scenes, and it's a layout system for creating user-definable layouts. It's actually based on the layout system which is used by Blender, the 3D graphics package. So I created this partly to use with Redux DevTools, and Redux DevTools allow you to do interesting debugging operations in your application. So let's imagine this is my example application. It's a kind of a carousel application, and I'm going to bring up the Redux DevTools. So to do that, I hover over any of the corners of the screen, and when I click down, it shows me the things I can do. So I can pull left to divide to make a vertical division, or pull down to create a horizontal division. So I'm going to pull left, and there is my first subdivision. And I've got a list of options of things I can display here. I'm going to choose the log monitor, and this shows me how the actions I perform affect the state of my application. And it allows you to revert actions as well. So if I want to see what a previous state was, I can go back and just scrub out the actions that I don't want, and then I can add them back in again, and my application updates accordingly. There are many of these kind of dev tools, and another one is a slide monitor. So I'm going to bring up a slide monitor on the bottom, and this is like a YouTube kind of play thing, and it allows me to play back through the states in my application. So when I click play, it shows me the things that I've done, and I can click back and forward and sort of go to any state. Now if I want to get rid of one of these monitors, then I can just expand the pane which is in the same sort of parent set. So if I pull this one down and release the mouse, then that has now expanded this one, and I can do the same here, and now I'm back to where I started. Suppose I wanted my DevTools on the left, my log monitor. I could do this and bring up the log monitor, and I'm going to do a few more actions just to check everything's working. So I click through my carousel and go to lots of different states. Because I've got more states now, I'm going to want some more room for my slide monitor. So I'm going to bring up a slide monitor down here where there's a bit more room. And there's my slide monitor. And now I can click through my states here. Now, the nice sort of thing about the way that Subdivide works is that any pane could be potentially anything, and you can subdivide panes as much as you like. So I could actually have two log monitors if I wanted to. So I'll bring up another log monitor here, and now that I've got lots of states, I might want to compare my initial state to the last state. And so now I can, rather than flicking between the two, I can actually see the two on the screen at the same time together. I'll get rid of that there, just clear it out the way. In your application, you might have lots of components which are connected directly to your Redux store. And so I'm going to imagine for this I have more components than this kind of carousel component, and I'm going to pull this out, and let's pretend this is a different component rather than two of the same thing. You could then see how updating one component would update the other ones, and I can play through the states and sort of see it in stereo. Might work better with an Oculus Rift. And so that's how Subdivide can be used with Redux DevTools. And you can install Subdivide from npm. The repository is here. It's very early days yet, so don't build anything too mission critical on it on the moment. API may change quite a bit. And this is what it looks like integrating it into your code. You kind of create an application with DevTools as normal. You need to npm install Subdivide, so there's Subdivide there. And the way Subdivide works is it just takes in a default component and that's the component that will be displayed whenever you create a new pane by subdividing another one. And then you should really make this component something which enables you to choose other components. So here's an example of a chooser component, and this takes in a list of options, and each option is a name and a React component, and it has a state which is state has a selected key in it, property in it, and initially that's set to undefined, and as soon as that's defined, it will display the component which is selected, and if no component selected, then it's going to display the list which allows you to select a component. Now that chooser component could be as complicated as you like. It could be something like the Windows file manager system or something like that. So you could imagine quite a complex chooser component. This is just an example of a very simple one. And so I've got the options here, and I pass them into my subdivide component here. I don't really need those divs there. And then you can see actually if I reload the application that that's actually the initial state that it starts in, that I have to actually choose to put the simulator as the selected component. And I'm now going to show you how this can be used not just for kind of dev tools and dev mode. It can actually be used for creating applications as well, and particularly applications that you want to communicate with somebody else. So I work for NCR in Edinburgh in Scotland, and I'm a JavaScript developer there, and one of the things I actually have to do is interview candidates that we're recruiting, and we kind of do phone screens for these, and maybe ask a few questions about JavaScript and how does this work, and I'd have to try and get my head around it myself and these sorts of things. And then if somebody passes the phone screen, they do a face-to-face interview, they come into the office. But I'm going to show you something of how you could do an application that would allow you to do a lot of the things we did in the face-to-face interview actually remotely. So I'm going to bring up the NCR website. So this is the NCR Edinburgh website, and I want to bring up a video chat session. And so here's our video chat. So I'm using Jitsi Meet, and Jitsi Meet is a WebRTC application, and so it's kind of peer-to-peer communication, and then I will bring up a code editor because we have a coding exercise as part of our interview, but that's going to come up later. And then let's imagine the candidate has sent in their CV as a PDF or something like that. So Chrome allows us to see PDFs. I'll bring up the CV. So this is John Smith with his PhD, just got from some random place on the internet. And then I might go through the CV with the candidate. I might tell them a bit about NCR Edinburgh, and then I could actually go to the job they've applied for as well. And let's go for a Java or JavaScript engineer, and we are genuinely hiring at the moment in these roles, and I would really love it if we had some candidates who are very strong in React and Redux applying. So if that's you, then please drop me an email, and so yeah, I could kind of go through with a candidate the things that are on the website and check their understanding of these things. Another thing we do at our face-to-face interviews is that we have the candidate give a presentation, and so I could bring up a presentation here, and so this is like to me a random React presentation, but you could imagine that our candidate had done something at a local meetup, and he was going to present the slides that he did to us. So there we go. And this slideshow is in no way kind of network connected. We'd actually have to, the person would have to create the slideshow in something that was kind of network aware for us to be able to collaborate and have them talking and presenting it and us viewing it at the same time. And that's one of the challenges, I think, for Subdivide, is that at the moment we need people to create lots of components basically that are sort of network aware, and the thing that makes a Subdivide component really good is basically it needs to be responsive. It needs to be able to stretch. So all these components here are responsive. So you can see the kind of NCR website is have it like that. It goes to a mobile view and like this, and Jitsi is responsive as well. It's kind of got a background cover kind of thing on, so it always fills whatever space you put it in. And then again, this slideshow kind of does an okay job of doing that. It's sometimes cutting off some content. Maybe it needs a background contain or something on it. Then the nice thing as well about Jitsi and JSBin is that so this is actually the chooser pane here. It's just a plain HTML file in an iframe, and Jitsi has these kind of suffixes that you can have on the URL, and then anyone who typed in that same suffix will be in the same chat room, as it were. And the same happens on JSBin. So if we had so that's the kind of the unique code there. So this means that if the candidate and the interviewer went to the same URL, then this pane here and this pane here would be channels through which the interviewer and the candidate could communicate, and so the candidate could be typing things out in the coding exercise, and then the interviewer could run and check that they've got the right results and talk them through and see how they're going and things like that. I would actually really like to give this a try for a phone screen. So if you would genuinely be interested in working for NCR Edinburgh, if you would be available to work in Scotland. Scotland's a pretty nice place to live and work. You can see at my window I've got these kind of hills in the background, so, and this is right in the middle of the city centre, so there's all sorts of nice parks and green space and things like that. Then please drop me an email. If you send something to my personal email, that's this one here, then I'll if you're requesting that kind of a phone screen using this application, if you'd like to just give it a try, then I'd be interested in doing that. Or you can just apply through traditional methods to just from our normal NCR website. If you're sending me an email, let me know of your name on GitHub or anything like that, so I can have a look at anything that you've coded first. That would be great. Thank you very much for watching.